Hello friends, welcome to my channel Suresh Coding Hub. Today we are going to understand what is RAG. Okay, so before starting this one, yesterday's video we have seen in the React application how we connect LLM and MCP. Okay, so today to the same app we will be adding another third demo. So demo 1 and demo 2 which we have covered yesterday, we are going to understand what is RAG, okay, and how the combination of all these three MCP, LLM and RAG make your application very powerful. So before starting to the RAG, just 2 to 3 minutes I will cover what we have seen yesterday and just try to revise it, and then we will start coding with the RAG, which is a RAG, and we will understand it in detail. So yesterday we have seen what is MCP. It is a model context protocol, and it works as a bridge between our AI application and the MCP servers. This may have multiple things which could be like your file system, your database, your tools. So in yesterday's example, we have seen these are my MCP tools, which is like greet, calculate, and search via MCP. These are my tools. In the case where we just connected React with MCP, we are telling here as part of request which tool has to be executed, right? So we are giving the name of the tool, and our MCP server hits that tool and give us the required data. Okay, like hello Surya response came from MCP. Similarly, here in this case 10 plus 20, we are saying here like user tool calculate, and we are passing two values A and B. Okay, and MCP server tool execute and give us the results, which is a 30 here. And similarly, we have another tool like we are passing. We need a laptop with a max price 70,000. It will search via MCP and gives the results. Okay. Now, this is MCP only. Here there is no LLM we have used. So all these logics, no AI is here, right? Nothing, no intelligence added. It is simple. We are expected some data. We provided the information and got the results. Later, we have integrated LLM. Okay, like let's say here we are saying like I need a laptop with range under 70,000. Then which tool we need to call? We are telling, and that tool is giving us these results, right? Once we integrate a LLM, what LLM does, I told it works as a brain, right? We no need to mention then. You need to use a grid tool or calculate tool or search by MCP tool. We just need to give all the tools access to my LLM based on the request, which is a human friendly request, right? Like find me a laptop under 70,000 or find me a HP laptop under 70,000. So user is going to provide a user friendly message, and LLM, which is a brain, intelligently try to find out uh, based on this request either any of the tool available to give these answers to the user. Okay, and as a human understandable language, it will give us the answers. Okay, so this is the flow. React will connect to a backend, and backend calls LLM, right? LLM will understand which tool will support this particular request, and it will use that tool, execute, and it will get data. And again, LLM will convert that data into a human understandable language, and it gives us the response. Okay, something like I found two laptops under 70,000. This is all we have done yesterday, and we have seen the coding for this. Today, we will understand what is RAG. So RAG is a retrieval augmented generation. Okay, what it do is it builds the knowledge base, building the knowledge base. Okay, so we are providing some knowledge. Okay, which format we are providing, either as a PDF or text files or DBs or web pages. We are giving some sort of knowledge. okay, and we are keeping it. So let's say in our example what we are going to do is I created one file knowledge.ts file, okay. I given as a form of some JSON text some details, okay. Then we can, it could be a PDF also, okay. It could be a some, let's say we have a DB connected and we are giving the information, it could be a DB, it can be anything which has the knowledge, okay. So in our previous case, like yesterday, if just with LLM and MCP, if you are finding a laptop under 70,000, automatically this LLM will able to find out intelligently, like it should call this MCP tool, which is search via MCP, and it will convert the request into that form. It will give the response from MCP tool. We get the response, and again it will convert the things and give us like here. But there are chances, right, this data may have some issues, right, there may be chances because this data could not be valid. So to better understand it, let's say we are working in any IT organization, okay. So that organization will have leave policies, company policies, okay, holiday policies, so multiple policies. So those policies are not matching to any other companies, right. It will be like every company will have their own set of policies. Let's say if AI, just LLM will try to find out, like give me what are the how many leaves I can take in a year, or how many privilege leaves we have. So we need to give first a proper data, right, which my LLM should read to give me the exact answer. So that is where RAG comes into picture, okay. In the example like leave policies and all, so let's say we given our PDFs and some documentations, and we will keep it into our project, and we will, as part of MCP tools, we allow our application to connect to those source of data knowledge and give the results, okay. So in that case what will happen, you will get the accurate results, right. So the work of RAG is retrieval augmented generation. So let's say with an example now, so we have given some knowledge.ts file here, right. In this file, let's say we have some informations which are accurate. Then to the LLM, to the AI, we will ask, right, what is React. So let's say in yesterday's example here, instead of this one, we will try to write what is React. Then in it, then we will be having knowledge.ts files, right, which connects to our MCP tool. We will see the code once I explain this. Then LLM, right, it will try to find out the correct MCP tool, and that tool will be, let's say the name of the tool is like search knowledge. That tool will go to your knowledge.ts file or your PDF files or your outside data which contains the knowledge, and based on that LLM based on this response, right, from that tool, LLM will give you accurate results, okay. So here the same thing. So search user ask a question, what is React, search relevant information from knowledge base. So this retrieve part, right, the retrieval, okay, it founds the from the knowledge base relevant items, okay. Augment, the second thing, add retrieve context to the original query, okay. For example, what is React, so all this context, right. React is a JavaScript library, it is used for building UI, it uses component base, like this it will augment it. And then finally, right, generate, this third point, LLM generates answer using the augmented context. So based on this context provided, LLM will generate the answer, and that given the as a response, okay, and which our React application will display. So returns accurate and relevant response. In this case, after introducing RAG, our response become more accurate and relevant to our questions. Got it? So it reduce hallucinations. Okay, it will give you more accurate data. So traditional LLM, right, user LLM answer, right, it will be have a chances of hallucination is more likely. These answers may not be exact, but once we will have the RAG layer in middle, right, these answers will be more better. Okay, now let's understand this with the example. So I'll come to the coding part. So first we will go to our client application which we have created, right, and I shown yesterday in app.tsx file here. Now as we covered yesterday demo 1 and 2, this will be the demo 3, this one, where firstly we are just connecting RAG with MCP. Okay, so this is simple text what we are showing. Ask a question and retrieve relevant information. As whatever my question, it's relevant information from the knowledge base. Okay, knowledge base is our user provided DB or files. Okay, which it should use and give the results. In this case, first let me execute it, then we will see the coding. Once I told what is MCP and how does it helps React developers, right? I'm just doing the search knowledge base. So what I'm doing basically here with this API, then calls my MCP tool, which will be like a search knowledge, and this is my query, and based on my query it will give me the results. Okay, and those results I am displaying here. Okay, now let's see the code of the same. So whenever I click on the search RAG, right, so if you see I'm calling this method, we are having a fetch. Okay, we are calling this API, and what we are passing our argument, RAG question, whichever we have entered here, that question, right, what is my need, and like my tool name. Then this API, then we will go to our backend server. Okay, and my server is already I started here. Then in my index.ts API MCP, okay, this call will be done. Okay, now I have the tool and arguments. Based on that one, it will call MCP tools, right? And as I told yesterday, we from the React we cannot call the MCP server tools, right? So first we will take, with the help of client we'll call it. So we will take our MCP by using get MCP client method, and then we are going to hit our call. So in this case, what I did is till now, yes, till yesterday we have 3 tools, right? One will be like our grid tool, one is our calculate tool, one is our search products tool, right? Today I have added one more tool which will be the search knowledge. In this, whenever this tool executes, what it do is, this is just description of that tool, and as a query parameter it will take my question, and this tool, right, what it will do, it is giving results me based on this calculations, right? What this calculation manipulations, right? I'm calling a method search knowledge, and we are passing our params here. Based on this params, it will try to find compare it with the text, and it will try to based on the keywords it will filter the complete details from where the knowledge source is my knowledge.ts file. Here I have imported, right? So my key provided keywords as a request, the results are coming by comparing the text and all, and this knowledge.ts is my base file which will be used and to help me the response, proper response, accurate response. Okay, once this results response comes to me, and we will display it into a UI. Okay, so in this method, this knowledge.js file, it could be anything, right? It could be a PDF and all, and we have multiple more things comes into the RAG. We will discuss in our next videos, but just for our understanding, all the kind of documents it will search, and it will help us to give us the accurate data. Okay, and here if you see, once I clicked on the MCP, we given which tool, search knowledge, and we pass our argument, which is our this text, and based on that one I got the response and we displayed it below. Now, so we have understand here, to the React application we have integrated RAG, okay, which is RAG plus MCP tool. Our React application called the Node.js API, and it will connect to the MCP tool, and that MCP tool connects to RAG, our knowledge base, and gives the response, okay, which we are seeing here. Correct. Till this part, let me just run the query once again. We are saying, as part of the search knowledge base tool, like use this tool, and based on that tool we are getting the data, okay, for my request. We did not integrated any LLM here, right? Correct. Now, coming back to our demo number 2. Yesterday we have seen like LLM will automatically identify from the list of all tools which sets best for its request. In this case also, because today we have added one more tool, I'm going to my mcp.ts file. We have added here this register tool, which is like a search knowledge. To this search knowledge, we are writing here a code search knowledge, which will use this knowledge file and give me the required response. Okay, so this is the work of my MCP tool, which is the new tool. Okay, now even I did not integrated anything with LLM, right? But if I will use this particular request here, okay, without changes, just we have added the new MCP tool, right? My LLM will still work and give me the proper data, like what is this MCP. It will use the, it will try to automatically find I should be using the search knowledge tool. Okay, it understood like I should use this search knowledge tool, and based that tool will give some response to me, like something like this, the response in a JSON format given by that tool, and again LLM will give us something converted response, something like this. Okay, and which tool used, just we are printing here. We did not make any changes here. How it is working, just we will see the flow is basically, I'll go to my app.tsx file here. Whenever we click on our demo 2, which is like ask AI, okay, this one ask AI, it will trigger our API call. Which API call? API chat. Now I'll go to my Node.js project, index.ts. API chat is this API, right? So when this will trigger, what I'm doing, I'm just checking automatically the ask LLM, right, where we are providing our message. This ask LLM, yesterday I explained the complete flow. What it do, it will take the list of all tools, then it will convert it that tools with the OpenAI way. Okay, it converts as understandable of OpenAI. OpenAI, this OpenAI is the intelligence part, right? Then we will create our request, LLM request. So in this LLM request, what we are saying is, we are saying to OpenAI like, you are a helpful AI assistant, and you have access to my MCP servers tool, like this file MCP TS files, and use those tools wherever it is useful, and it will give us the response. Okay, we are telling which model to use, as we seen, like we can tell this model name, right, like GPT-5 mini, or whichever we can we want to configure, we can configure in our .environment file. Okay, so far it is understandable. So here in our current case, like I did not integrate any LLM, my index.ts file, it will call this method automatically. It will pick which tool has to execute. So from the list of these tools, if no tools means simply it is saying nothing is used and just giving the response. But in our current requirement, it will identify automatically my LLM, like I have to use this knowledge tool, okay, search knowledge tool, and it execute here, and it will give the response to the LLM, and then LLM again process that response, and it will give me the final response to UI, which we final answer, right, which will be something like this text. Okay, this is the LLM response, and otherwise it will comes from the MCP server like this response. Okay, so with this we are able to understand like how we can integrate React to our MCP tools, and how LLM will work as a brain, and to give a solid proof proper answer which is relevant to our question RAG we introduce, right? To the RAG we will provide our source of data. Okay, it could be in the form of DB, in the form of PDFs and all. It will search those things as per our request and give us the proper data. So with this one we covered all this complete integration which makes our application AI powered application. Okay, thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe the channel if you liked it. Thank you.